Didn't even get that.
No.
Good.
Surely you can't play down the importance of it.
No. Turf as well. That's actually part of the Wembley pitch.
Not really. No, because it's always active. So it's got less time than normal.
Guys, if we can do an embargo, please, which will be for Sunday, so a 10:30 Saturday evening embargo. Two microphones as usual. And can I ask for your name and organisation for your question, please?
Thank you. Ben Ransom from Sky Sports News. Pep, you've been involved in plenty of Manchester derbies now. You've also been involved in other big rivalries around world football. How do they compare?
Good derby. All the derbies are, I think, special. I think in Spain there are more noise than here, but before the game especially. But it's always special for everybody.
To your captain, it's the most important game of the season. The fans feel similarly. Even the branding on the wall says it's a big deal. Is it the biggest game of the season?
No. No.
Even though it means so much to the supporters?
Yeah, of course. But of course the games against the contenders are special because if you win, they don't win. But we are in November, so maybe the game in Old Trafford will be more important than this one. But of course that we are in a good run. They United as well, so and will be like all the games was so tight until the last minutes. No team controlled the game during 90 minutes, and we have to defend well and try to attack like we have done the last games.
We all know what football dressing rooms are like. Have the other players had any jokes with Raheem Sterling about that penalty?
But, so we made an incredible performance against Shakhtar, and all the notices about what happened in Raheem. Raheem wanted to make a chipping, and it was something in the grass and fell down. But this situation has happened, so it was not penalty, real not penalty, and that's all. So I don't think it's not a big issue. But of course, in the locker room, I guess I'm not in the locker room when they are. So, but I can imagine some jokes did happen.
I'm sure you've studied Manchester United's games this season in preparation for the weekend. Have you seen them improve in recent matches?
No doubts about that. So a team is able to win in Turin when I think the last 9 years it was not able to lose one game. How strong is Juventus, and except they had 10-15 minutes a little bit problem after the goal from Cristiano, but apart of that they were so stable, and I see a team with a lot of commitment and what they have to do. Aggressive without the ball, and everybody runs in front, everybody runs backwards. And a few weeks ago in Stamford Bridge, one of the toughest places, until the last minute was able to win. It doesn't matter, it's a good and bad moments. Of course now it's a good moment and good confidence, so always it's complicated. So I think in the whole history for Man City, it never was easy to win or to beat United, and all history United beat more times than City, and than City beat United. But he's a good rival, and it's a good chance to score 3 points and leave them away. So we're going to try, especially a good game, what we have to do, and tomorrow I'm going to speak with the players what we guess it's going to happen and what we suggest them what we should do to win the game.
Hi Pep, Ian Irving from Premier League Productions. Based on what you've just said there, how important will concentration be in this match, given what happened last season and given Manchester United's recent comebacks as well?
What we have to do is try to play good. So all of it is one change in football, especially in the way we try to play, is if we play good, we have no chance to win. So, but the top teams like United, like Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, these kind of teams, so you cannot imagine and think about it. We're going 90 minutes, we're going to play amazingly, and they don't have a chances or something like that. So the first, I think in 75 minutes, last game, I would like to play the same game last season when we played top during 75 minutes. But United showed us last season that they need 10, 15, 20 minutes to create other chances. When the sensation of when they have the ball, you know, and the people in front, so wow, they can create something because they have an amount of incredible talent in front and in the middle as well. So that's why we have to defend deep, strong, well, defend the crosses because they are so strong, avoid the set pieces because they are huge in that terms, by far better than us, and try to bring our game in the way we can control more, as much minutes as possible, to be clinical when we have the chances to score a goal. That is the game we try to do.
Pep, I know you were asked about this earlier in the week. Are you bothered by the fact that whatever you achieve here, there's likely to be a finger pointed because of the stories that came out of Germany this week in FFP?
I said about that last Tuesday about that issue. So if they want to undermine what we have done, so no problem. So at the end, we live our lives. We live our process, what we are doing, and always will remain in our hearts for the rest of our lives, in the way we play, and some titles we won, and we try to win again. That is going to remain. And after that, the opinion is the opinion. So I said I trust a lot with the club, when I know the people, and okay, if something wrong, we'll be punished. So at the end, UEFA, FIFA, this kind of federation, English federation, has to, say if we were wrong. If we were wrong, okay, we will accept it. But I hear what my club said to me, and of course I trust a lot of them.
Hello, Pep. Stuart Brenner, Manchester Evening News. The City fans were hurt by that last derby game. How much did it hurt you, and how much did it hurt your players?
About
The last derby.
Well, we lost the last two derbies here. We were not able to win. We won in Old Trafford, but we were not able to win here. So it's because they open. I know the derby. I live in Barcelona many years, and I know where the special derbies against Real Madrid, and I know in Germany a little bit less, but when you play against Borussia Dortmund like this weekend is special. I know that. But at the end it's 3 points. You have to be focused in the game. I'm not living outside, so I understand how important. Important is okay, we lost the derby when we play quite good in that game, but we lost. At the end we were champion. That is what I count the most. So we have 3 points to be champion. And the target, we did it.
Hi Pep, Don McGuinness, TalkSport. How pleased are you now that people are asking just questions about your team, maybe about United, and there's no real focus on you and Mourinho anymore? That was obviously the big thing when you first arrived. Has that pleased you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. At the end, we are good guys, more than you expect. It's much better, believe me.
And just a word about the team news. Any new injuries from the other night? Any bumps or bruises, or is everybody okay apart from the long term?
Except Kevin. The others are fit, yeah.
Hi Pep, James Robson, The Standard. Given what happened last season, the way the derby went, was there any part of you afterwards that regretted saying what you said about Paul Pogba before it? And I wondered why you did choose that moment to say it.
So I don't have any too many regrets. So it's answer the questions for his agent. So his comments for his agent. So it's the past. So it's the same what happened last season. The derby we lost. It's going to happen or maybe not. In last season, if we were able to win, it's another situation. The last game, all the 3 last games in Champions League, City is not able to win. You won 6-0. So every game is a new history, new chapter. It's gone. So we learn. We try to learn of that. We realize how strong they are. They don't need. When they dominate and create a lot of chances, they win easily. But in that terms, you think, have the feeling you control the game, you are in comfortable zone, and in that moment they punish you because it's Man United. Maybe with Liverpool, the strongest teams in all the history in England. So, and for us to be there now in the last years, like David said, the moment they beat 1-6 there in Old Trafford, now the people think we are being the quite same level, and that is a big honor. And you have to try to play to deserve to be in that honor, in that place. And that is what I want. So we're not going to make many chances, some details, yes, but we're not going to make many chances in terms of the way we want to approach that game, comparing the times we play against United, and especially in the last period we're going to play. I think United is arriving in a good moment, a real good moment, because again, winning in Turin, and the way they won, when they concede few against that team, and we arrive in a good run too, in the terms of our game is fluid, it's comfortable, we concede few, and that is a good signal. And hopefully can be a good derby, and everybody can enjoy watching the game. That will be the perfect advertising for English football, for all of us, for United City. And at the end, I'm pretty sure after the game, the team who's going to be beaten, going to the hand for the winner, and international break, and come on. Let's go. Carry on.
Hi Pep, Jack Gorn for the Mail. I just wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the proposed European Super League, because games like this against United would be more common.
I don't have opinion about that, but for me, I would like to know the ideas. But for me, the local competitions like Premier League, Liga is so important. It's so important. We cannot deny the local leagues. The leagues like all the history happen. But I don't know. I don't know the idea.
Is that a real concern for managers, that it would dilute the domestic leagues?
No, the managers, we adapt what the rule says. So when the Premier League say you have to play today and tomorrow, we play today and tomorrow. When the UEFA said you have to be in time in that time, we have to be in time. Normally the managers, we make meetings, but at the end they decide. So at the end we're going to adapt what they do, of what they decide.
Hi, Pep. David McDonald from the Daily Mirror. Given how strong you feel United are and the respect you say you have for them as a team, how surprised have you been with the difficult start to the season they had? And do you feel if you win on Sunday, that kills their title hopes? Because that gap now would be 12 points.
Winning or losing, they are not out of the title race. No way. In November, it's impossible, my friends. It's impossible.
Even if you win on Sunday?
They show it. They recover well. They were in the tough moments. They recover games like 2-0 against Newcastle. It's a big club. Big club is big mentality. And since we arrived, we try to convince to that club and never give up and never try it again and again. It doesn't matter what happened. That's why in the last month we didn't lose 2 or 3 games in a row. We're consistent in that and in terms of the mentality. But United has that for itself, because he has his history behind and always is there. And no way, November, the 5-6 strong teams, one issue is in March and April. That is another issue. But now, everything is open. Football change, you don't know why, in 1 week or 2 weeks, actually everything.
The last couple before the embargo, please, guys.
Hi, Pep. Danny Elvis has said that you're his best ever coach, and to quote him, he said it was better than sex, his experience of you coaching him. I'm just wondering what you thought of that.
I prefer the sex. By far.
But, okay, so just moving on from that.
How is
but related to it, why do you think players seem to like being coached by you so much? Because every player seems to say, this guy has really improved me.
Yeah, I can see you a huge list. This is the opposite side. I have a list, but they love me a lot. Danny is one of them. The same I can say to him, how pleased I was with him. Because, but they have another side from Sweden and other places where they don't like him too much. So it's what it is. Normally it's happened when the people, they don't play regularly, always they are not a big fan for the manager, not just for me. And we try to convince them in the good way. The reason why is sometimes you play, sometimes not. But okay.
Okay, guys, we're on embargo for 10:30 on Saturday evening, please.
But the referee on Sunday is going to be from Manchester. How wise do you think it is? I'm not talking about the referee himself, but how wise do you think it is